I, Shalom, first and foremost, want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Wahar Rakak Kwadash, which in the ancient Hebrew tongue would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His beloved Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, would like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much due honors and respect to the sincere brethren out there that is also laboring in his work. And as always, want to say shalom to you believers, the Akim, as well as the Akwath, the brothers along with the sisters out there that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, this lesson right here is going to be simply entitled, The World of the Ungodly. All right? And that's the time that we're living in. That's the world that we're living in. A world where the ungodly is in power. And that ungodly or wicked would be the so-called white man. Without a doubt, that can't be disputed. You see? For an example, you have the scriptures as a guide on how to be, or pretty much a gauge to discern righteousness from wickedness, Pursuant to the book of Leviticus, the 20th chapter and the 13th verse, it tells you that if a man lieth with mankind as he lieth with a woman, they have both committed an abomination, and they shall surely be put to death. Meanwhile, the so-called white man celebrates homosexuality and transgenders. You see, so much so to where as if you have a certain platform, in the form of a radio show or TV, talk show, if you have a voice, if you will, well, you have to tread lightly. If you make what's considered to be an inflammatory statement or remark towards a so-called gay, then you can be penalized, Your livelihood could be compromised. You can lose your job, you see? So that's one of many examples of the so-called white man being the wicked in this current system, this vibration that has went out on the planet Earth under the watch of the so-called white man in the form of these laws and legislations that's passed and laid out. That's a testament of this being the world of the ungodly, you see? Now, when you consider, historical timelines, which is based upon the rise and fall of kingdoms, well, in the ancient world, different kingdoms where the Israelites was in subject to, or we paid tribute to different kingdoms, well, at least at that time, we was able to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. These different nations acknowledged us as being Israelites. Even when you go back to the time of the ancient Romans, even though the devil was in power at that time, wickedness hadn't exceedingly polluted the earth. Okay, so even with the Romans, there were certain Israelites who lived in that region of Judea and Judah, Jerusalem. Okay, really the tribes of Judah. Okay, the southern kingdom. They was able to worship in the temple. The temple was intact. All right, they was able to go make sacrifices. So the point is, you had a presence, if you will, of righteousness on the planet Earth, or what righteousness would look like, But now when you fast forward to now, where the so-called white man has tightened his grip on the entire planet Earth, which this was all foretold, Well, in this time, in this current world, if you attempted to be righteous, you will be looked at as the bad guy, man. If you didn't allow your children to go to school and digest this curriculum of the so-called white man, that wicked philosophy, or you told your kids, look, being a homosexual ain't right. I don't want you associating with nobody that's a homosexual. Guess what? You will be looked at as the bad guy. You will become the prey. Matter of fact, let's start off with that. That also proves that this is indeed the world of the ungodly that we're living in, man, under the watch of the so-called white man. See? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 59 and verse 15, it says, yeah, truth faileth. Yeah, and that's right. Which this is a prophecy right here. We're in a time where truth actually faileth. When you speak the truth, then there's a problem. By the way, that's why you have this whole thing with YouTube. You know, the devil is threatening to shut down these different YouTube channels altogether. Why? Because this is the platform where truth is on display. The Lord set up the internet as a springboard, if you will, for truth to be propelled throughout all the world. See? And truth is not in the best interest of these devils, man. One of their main attributes besides the sword is deception. All right? So again it says, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil, see, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. So when you stand for truth or you stand for righteousness, you maketh yourself a prey. And why is that? Because we living in a wicked world. This is the world of the ungodly. All right? So it says, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Right? So the Lord is preparing judgment for this place. And that's what's going to please, that's going to appease the Lord. Okay? Why? Because wickedness have exceedingly polluted the entire planet Earth, man. And again, this is under the watch of the so-called white man. That's why everything, every person, every living creature that you see is suffering, man. The animals, you know, the air, man, the water. The water is actually suffering. Matter of fact, let's get some, you know, there's no way you can convince me that the so-called white man is not the devil. It's plain. This man is in power, so the reason why wickedness have taken root on the planet Earth because the wicked is in power. The reason why everything is suffering because you have the devil in power. All right, this is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. See? So by default, it's not everybody mourning. You might say, well, hold up, there's people with money living out in Hollywood. Hey, those the most depressed people on the planet Earth, man. They popping a pill. They got a pill for when they sad, when they happy, when they mad. You know, they committing suicide. You know, they depressed. They defeated, man. Every living creature is mourning, from the birds. Even your children is mourning, man. Why? Because the wicked is bearing rule. Again, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, which that's going to be in the kingdom. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So this is how we know when you extrapolate, you put two and two together, you know, you come to the conclusion, well, hold up, this got to be dealing with the so-called white man. Because right now, everybody is mourning, everything is turned upside down, and all this is under the watch of the so-called white man, the devil. But guess what? This was foretold to be. This is the balance of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua before righteousness take root on the planet Earth fully in the form of the kingdom. Wickedness have to have his place. All right? Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. And we'll start at the 26th verse. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. Yeah, and that's dealing with this current world, the world of the ungodly. You notice that the days are going by fast, man. You look up, you know, it's the first day of the week, and before you can look, it's the weekend, you know. That's the world hasting fast to pass away, this current world. Verse 27, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come. And that's dealing with the kingdom of heaven. Because the kingdom of heaven is going to be ushered in with the destruction of this current world. this world of the ungodly. It says, for this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Yeah, and that's why we just read, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. There's infirmities. Everybody is plagued with some sort of infirmity, man, whether it's physical or spiritually, mentally. You know, people out here spiritually wounded. This is the worst case scenario, man, with this devil in power. See? Verse 28, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown. See, the evil is sown. Okay, and this is dealing with who? The so-called white man. And it has taken root on the planet Earth in the form of his laws, legislations. See? Matter of fact, you know what? Let me see something real quick. I believe that's... what's that? Salaki. All right, this is our first Maccabees 1 in verse 7. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And who is this Alexander? Alexander the Greek, which even these historians would confirm that he was a so-called white man. Now, why is we bringing this out? Well, let's read on. It says, and his servants bare rule every one in his place, and after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. See, and evils were multiplied in the earth, meaning that seed of wickedness was planted. You know, because you might say, well, hold up, the so-called white man always been around. But yeah, but that wickedness didn't take root until he came into power, when he was able to influence you. So going back to Alexander the Greek, that's when evils began to take root on the planet Earth. That was that seed, if you will, that was planted. All right? And again, that's why right here, Second Ezra, Slaki, Second Ezra 4, and 27, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come, for this world is full of unrighteousness, see, and infirmities, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown. Right, so when the so-called white man is in power, that's when evil is sown, okay? Even to this very day. That's why you have what you have, a world of ungodliness, man, and wickedness, see? It says, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. See? So before the destruction can come, the so-called white man have to be in power. Wickedness have to be in power. Just like before the first death, before the Lord can destroy the earth or the known world at that time, with the flood, wickedness had to be set up. You know? Verse 29. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. See? So this was necessary. Again, it says, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So in order for good to be established, wickedness have to be on the earth. In order for the righteous kingdom of heaven to be planted, wickedness have to be uprooted. That's the balance of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh. So the so-called white man being in power and wickedness exceedingly polluting the earth is pretty much a necessary evil. All right? So I just wanted to touch on that, Lord willing. It was edifying. Till the next time I say shalom.